Alex Jones here with an important note to our viewing, listening, and reading audiences. I'm going to read to you from a statement that's also posted to Infowars.com that I wrote yesterday. Last fall, before the presidential election, a large number of media outlets began reporting on allegations arising from emails released by WikiLeaks that appeared to come from John Podesta, who served President Clinton and Obama and was the chairman of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Dozens of those stories and articles raised or discussed theories that some of Podesta's emails contained code words for human trafficking and/or pedophilia. Stories also included allegations connecting members of the Democratic Party with a number of restaurants allegedly involved with a child sex ring. These stories were cited and discussed in social media and went viral on the internet. One of the persons mentioned in many of the stories in the media was a Washington, D.C. restaurant owner named James Alefantis and his pizza restaurant, Comet Ping Pong. It is fair to say that Mr. Alefantis is a prominent individual who has been mentioned as a power player in Washington. Mr. Alefantis and his restaurant were mentioned in many stories published by a lot of different outlets. Mr. Alefantis was quoted in many subsequent stories, and he denied any involvement in such reported child sex rings. And then here's the New York Times. Fake news onslaught targets pizzeria as nest of child traffickers. I went and looked on WikiLeaks, and they're not even denying this. The media is totally ignoring it. The volume of stories was substantial, generating national headlines and came to be known across the country as Pizzagate. We at InfoWars became part of that national discussion. We broadcast commentary about the allegations and the theory that the emails contained code words. Let's go ahead and go to the report. Pizzagate is real. The theory that the emails contained code words. Pizzagate is real.
It now appears the real truth Assange was leading us to was hidden between the blurred lines of Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, John Podesta's released emails. High-level Washington, D.C. predatory pedophiles were using a code to communicate child sex trafficking as casually as ordering a pizza. The menu from Comet Ping Pong. Notice the symbol of the ping pong paddles and its clever resemblance to the FBI document's symbol for child love. All right, hang on, New York Times. Before you declare this fake news from your ivory tower, now look at the symbol for Besta Pizza, just 2 doors down from Comet Ping Pong Pizza, boldly using the symbol for boy lover as was recorded on the unclassified FBI document. The evidence begins to reveal that Besta Pizza and Comet Ping Pong Pizza may be competing for the lucrative Washington, D.C. pedophile market right out in the open. Comet Ping Pong owner James Alefantis needs to explain himself, and so he did, via the Hillary Clinton colluding New York Times. Why is the artwork adorning Comet Ping Pong's walls at the very least so insanely creepy, especially for a family restaurant? Why do you find it amusing that this baby is for sale? Why do you associate with this artist? Why is any of this okay?
Under arrest in Washington, 28-year-old Edgar Welch, accused of firing an assault weapon inside the Comet Ping Pong Pizza restaurant. Welch allegedly told police he came to investigate Pizzagate, an internet rumor alleging a Clinton campaign child sex ring.
Let me state unequivocally, these stories are completely and entirely false.
The Pizzagate conspiracy began with the Clinton WikiLeaks and an email stolen from campaign chief John Podesta about a fundraiser involving the restaurant. Users of the anonymous online message board 4chan, known for rogue political discussion, suggested without any proof whatsoever that the word pizza was code for child sex trafficking at the restaurant. The conspiracy theory quickly spread to Reddit and YouTube, feeding fake online news stories, then jumping to Facebook and Twitter. Eventually, Reddit banned the thread. Both D.C. police and federal agents say the story is false. The websites also claim that there's a secret underground tunnel running from the pizza restaurant up the store to the Politics and Prose bookstore to traffic in children. But the bookstore says there is no tunnel. For weeks, the restaurant and bookstore have received dozens of threats each day.
We don't see this as a left-right thing, as a Democratic, Republican thing. This is really truth versus fiction.
Discredited rumors about sex trafficking, even shared by President-elect Trump's choice for National Security Advisor, General Michael Flynn, who last month retweeted a link writing, "Must read." Flynn's son, Michael G. Flynn, his chief of staff, had been pushing Pizzagate on Twitter. Neither man responded to our request for comment.
Your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope.
Late today, anxious store owners met with D.C. police commanders as a fake news story has turned into something very real. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
We raised questions about information in Mr. Podesta's emails and in the Comet Ping Pong restaurant. We believed at the time that further investigation was necessary. In December of 2016, we disassociated ourselves from the Pizzagate claims and theories, a position we reiterated last month after being contacted by Mr. Alefantis. In late February of 2017, we received a letter from Mr. Alefantis asking that we retract certain statements that he says were made in 7 of our broadcasts between the last week of November and the first week of December in 2016. We have attempted through our lawyers to contact Mr. Alefantis to discuss with him what sort of statement he would like to see made. In our commentary about what had become known as Pizzagate, I made comments about Mr. Alefantis that in hindsight I regret and for which I apologize to him. We were participating in a discussion that was being written about by scores of media outlets in one of the most hotly contested and disputed political environments our country has ever seen. We relied on third-party accounts of alleged activities and conduct at the restaurant. We were on it from the beginning. We've been on it the last couple of weeks since the election. We also relied on accounts of reporters who are no longer with us. As I have said before, what became a heightened focus on Mr. Alefantis and Comet Ping Pong by many media outlets. I went and looked on WikiLeaks, and they're not even denying this. The media is totally ignoring it. By many media outlets. I went and looked on WikiLeaks, and they're not even denying this. The media is totally ignoring it. To my knowledge today, neither Mr. Alefantis nor his restaurant, Comet Ping Pong, were involved in any human trafficking, as was part of the theories about Pizzagate that were being written about in the media outlets and which we commented upon. Pizzagate is real. I want our viewers and listeners to know that we regret any negative impact our commentaries may have had on Mr. Alefantis, Comet Ping Pong, or its employees. We apologize to the extent our commentaries could be considered as negative statements about Mr. Alefantis or Comet Ping Pong, and we hope that anyone else involved in commenting on Pizzagate will do the same thing. Here's what we've done to clarify to the public. Months ago, we took down the majority of broadcasts and videos, including ones that only passingly mentioned Pizzagate. This happened months before we were even contacted by Mr. Alefantis. Mr. Alefantis objected to portions of 7 particular radio/TV broadcasts. We have taken down those 7 broadcasts, and we have attempted to take down any broadcast that mentioned Mr. Alefantis or Comet Ping Pong. We have attempted to do so not just on our website, but also on social media sites such as our YouTube channel. If Mr. Alefantis has any other objections, we invite him to let us know. 2 reporters who used to be associated with us are no longer with us. In issuing this statement, we are not admitting that Mr. Alefantis or his restaurants have any legal claim. We do not believe they do, but we are issuing this statement because we believe it's the right thing to do. It will be no surprise to you that we will fight for children across America. But the Pizzagate narrative, as least as concerning Mr. Alefantis and Comet Ping Pong, we have subsequently determined was based upon what we now believe was an incorrect narrative. Despite the fact that we were far from the genesis of this story, it is never easy to admit when your commentaries are based on inaccurate information. But we feel like we owe it to you, the listeners, viewers, and supporters to make that statement, and to give an apology to you and Mr. Alefantis when we do. We encourage you to hold us accountable because we improve when you do. I'm very sad to have to bring you this news, but we knew it was going on from our sources, and now it's out in the open. We've got the Clintons involved in hardcore Satanism, blood rituals, Aleister Crowley stuff. The WikiLeaks have released it. Google has had to authenticate it. WikiLeaks has come out and linked to sites that are reporting this is about child trafficking, Haitian children. As a father, as an American, I'm very ashamed right now of this country. And we don't take any pleasure in the fact this is going on. But this is the truth of what we've become. And we didn't do this, but we let these people run things. With them talking about kids for entertainment and hot tubs. So I was busy focusing on the one about Satanism and drinking blood and stuff. And then I went and looked on WikiLeaks, and they're not even denying this. The media is totally ignoring it. Like young children, 6, 7, 8 years old in hot tubs for entertainment. Remember, we didn't just bring this up. I said a month ago, if they don't back down, they're going to bring out the pedophilia. They're going to bring out all of it. And the coup de grace, folks, is reportedly the mess after these parties. And I'm told that police officers that see this are literally crying for hours. So all I'm telling you, man, I just can't believe this. I can't believe our country is so conquered by evil, Joe. And that we have fallen this low that this has to come out to break them and to break their evil. You will be broken. That's why you're already collapsing.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't been up. Before this even came out, I could feel it.
I haven't had nightmares in 2 years, and I was so wigged out last night after I was up till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and every crick in my apartment, every little noise I heard, I jumped up because all I could think about was Podesta and Clinton, what they were doing, what they do on this island. It was sick. I had goosebumps the whole night, like I want to throw up.
The cries of the innocents are very powerful. These people get power off hurting children, but those cries went up. They've been heard. And now it's up to the viewers to take action. And now it's up to the viewers to take action. And now it's up to the viewers to take action. And now it's up to the viewers to take action. And now it's up to the viewers to take action. And by the way, Hagman was breaking down crying. I've been interviewing him for 10 years. He said the stuff the New York police showed him was so horrible, he started crying.
Think about this.
Who does this to kids? And now it's up to the viewers to take action. And now it's up to the viewers to take action. You want the worst stuff? We're going to see video of a toddler getting chopped up.
Yeah, you know, and I wouldn't, for as crazy as that sounds, Alex, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not put it past them. We're talking Jeffrey Dahmer kind of activity.
They terrorize them for hours after having them locked up for days and scaring the living hell out of them. Then they'll have women come in and tell them it's all right, and they're going back to mommy to build their hopes back up and take them up and take them down and take them up and take them down, and then they fully horrify them even more, and then they rape them, and then they cut them all over their body like a bunch of vampires and come in and lap the blood for hours and hours off the crying, screaming toddler. Or your 5-year-old daughter if they get her out of the backyard, whatever they do. For those of us that aren't into this, it's so alien, Joe. That's why I'm crying, because, folks, we're in crisis. And I've been on here a lot of years, so I don't get like this, but we have all the proof. We have all the proof. We have all the proof. And so it's the American people's job now. We keep bitching, saying, government, do this, do that. It's our job now. The fight has only begun. Let's get this video out. Let's have it go totally viral.